sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruity activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. Do not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next section. Today it's a very special topic, which is the appearance of Lord Rama. Sri Ram Bhagwan ki jai. Jai Sita Ram Lakshmi Bhagwan Hanuman ki jai. May I know who all joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Pratidasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna and happy Ram Navami to all.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanduvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Happy Ram Navami Mataji. Thank you so much Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Happy Ram Navami to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Prabhuji for joining the call and giving your association. Happy Sri Ram Navami Prabhuji. Thank you so much Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much Mataji for joining the call. Happy Sri Ram Navami Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Runda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much Mataji for joining the from Baltimore. Happy Sri Ramanama Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania, and happy Ram Navami.
Hare Krishna Tiffany Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call and giving your valuable association. Happy Sri Ramanama Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, all glories to the Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumar Devidas. Happy Ram Navami.
Hare Krishna. Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call and giving your association. Happy Sri Ramanami Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the devotees. This is Sushmita from Canada. Happy Sri Ram Navami Mataji.
Hare Krishna Sushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much Mataji for joining the call and giving your association. Happy Sri Ramanami Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago. Happy Sri Ram Navami and very, very nice background.
Thank you so much Mataji. Happy Sri Ram Navami. You too Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there anybody else who would like to introduce? Mataji, Prabhuji is on the call, so shall we start recording Mataji?
Sure Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Pran Govind Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of appearance of Lord Rama. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all grace to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. First, I would like to hand over call to Suresham Prabhuji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Suresham Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances always to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I would like to hand over call to Praja. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Pran Govind Prabhuji was born in Komila or Ampi Nagara in East Pakistan in the year 1962 and later shifted to Tripura, India. It was in 1971 when he saw Srila Prabhupada first time during a program. He decided to become a devotee. In 1977, he visited Mayapur for the first time and was initiated by Bhavananda Maharaj in 1979. From 1981 to 86, Prabhuji was working in Mayapur as a guest house manager. In 1986, during the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya, he served as the first general manager in Mayapur, managing the Gaur Purnima festival. From 1980 to 89, Prabhuji served as a facilitator of prasadam and accommodations for GBC, sannyasis, devotees, and life members. He also served as a life membership director and a fundraiser for Mayapur temple. In 1989, His Holiness Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj kindly took him with them to travel across Europe. They then brought him to America, where His Holiness Badrinarayan Maharaj and His Holiness Mukunda Goswami, who knew him from Mayapur, engaged him in cultivating congregation services in San Diego, California. Prabhuji took Vanaprastha in the year 2012. For many years, he has been serving the devotees in Alachua temple every day. Prabhuji travels across various parts of America preaching the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Back to you, Mataji. You're on mute, Mataji.
Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call, Prabhuji. Happy Sri Rama Navami, Prabhuji. I would like to hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to sing for a few minutes and then we will discuss some topics.
Hare Krishna, Kamadit Mataji.
Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya 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 Sita Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Prabhus and mothers. Please accept my obeisances. Glories to Prabhupada. I'm very grateful to be here with all of you. And I appreciate Bhakti Japa Sangha group organizer, facilitator, to engaging so many devotees, including fallen soul like me, to serve and purifying our hearts, my hearts, transforming our consciousness, and ultimately pleasing the Lord. So with that note, I made a small PowerPoint presentation. So I will not be able to address every slides because you all know Ramayana is like beyond imagination, how many pastimes and how much lesson to learn. But few points, few slides I will address more. But just to give an overview, because it's a Ram Navami, the day Lord Ram appeared, also got married. So many episodes took place on this day. It's so wonderful, so wonderful. So with that note, I'm going to just go to. Can one person unmute and read this together? Maybe we can just sing the 3 lines. Prabhupada used to sing on Ram Navami, and then you can read the translation. Together. Bitarashi dikshurane dikpati kamaniyam dasamukhamali bali ramaniyam kesabadrita ramasarira jaya jagadisha hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Can someone please help me to read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Ramachandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravana and distributed his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So Ramayana has a very dynamic, you can actually see many angles to look at Ramayana or Lord Ramchandra's wonderful pastimes. Like, for an example, the monkeys, they are children of the demigods. Generally, we don't see the monkeys as a children of demigods in this world, but those monkeys they joined, they were. And Ayodhya was topmost of Mahavaikunta. Golok Vrindavan is another realm. Goloko namni nijadhamni taleshu tasya devi mahesha haridhameshu teshu teshu. Tete prabhava nichaya vihitascha jena govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So above Devi Dham, the material world, is Viraja, Siddhaloko, Brahmajyoti. Then there is I call border, Kailas Dham, Mahesh Dham. Mahesh Dham has a 2 level. And then above them is Haridham. And Haridham, in general, we call Vaikuntha. And above Haridham is Mahavaikuntha. Mahavaikuntha, where this Ayodhya. And above Mahavaikuntha is Golok Vrindavan. So in Ram Lila, what is the next? Yeah. Okay. Above the I'm just thinking, okay. Sorry. So, first of all, why Gauriyas are so much fascinated? I mean, when I say Gauriyas, means us, the follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Why we are so fascinated about Ramayana? Well, because Ramayana teaches us most important topics called Saranagati. That's not how the world sees, but we see. Ramayana teaches us Saranagati, how to surrender to Supreme Absolute Truth. And I found with the research that there are 18 primary themes in the Ramayana. And the Ramayana that we follow a lot, or Sripada, Radhanath Swami and others also, generally that Ramayana with more than the Valmiki Ramayana, because it has a commentary of Shaili Purna, his understanding of the Ramayana from Jamunacharya, his guru, one of the 5 gurus of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya had 5 gurus, and one guru is Shaili Purna. So Ramanujacharya had cousin Govinda. Govinda was a Shaibayat, and Ramanuj requested Shaili Purna to save him and bring him back to Vaishnavism. And every morning, Govinda picked flower for Shiva worship. And so Sri Shaili Purna went there and began conversing with him. And he fell in love. Now, why did he fall in love with Ramayana and want to become Vaishnava? Because of the surrendering process. And it made so much conviction with him. So seeing this, when Ramanujacharya himself came to see his one of his gurus, Shaili Purna came down himself to greet him. Ramanujacharya says, you could have sent somebody to greet me. Why you have personally came? He says, no, the definition of surrender is not that. So then he explained what is definition of surrender. There is nothing in the heart but devotion to God. God means 4 entities together. Supreme Absolute Truth, his pastimes, his eternal associates, and his Evam Prabhu Priyanam cha Dhamnascha and his holy places, holy dham and his holy dham. So these four, and then he explains that how one surrender like that was very attractive. So these slides I made just to give that every time we have incarnation appears for very special reason. Special reason in a sense, today I'm going to discuss maybe not exactly the way you were expecting, but I'm going to discuss something that we Gauriya, some of our Acharya focus so much, Vaishnava, the Ramayana. So I'm going to discuss that the reason for Lord Ramchandra appeared, actually it has a similar reason why Krishna appeared, or Balaram appears, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, and these are the few reasons. So I would like somebody to read this sloka and the translation if possible. Please.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Prema rasa niryasa karite aswadhana, raga marga bhakti loka karite pracharana, rasika shekara Krishna parama karuna, e dui etu haite ichara udgama. So translation. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. He wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you. So, I'm going to give a little explanation about how Lord Ram's appearance idea came. So I'll bring it back. Hold on a second. Okay. Originally, Srila Prabhupada explains that Lord in Vaikuntha, he was enjoying life with his associate. Lakshmi Devi is massaging, devotees are fanning. But there is a difference, mellows, not necessarily fully facilitated in Vaikuntha. Like, for an example, fighting with the opponent. When in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna he fights with the coward boys every day. But that's difference. But in Vaikuntha, we don't have that. So you all, I'm sure, aware why Lord Narayan sent to Joy Vijay, in a sense that Joy Vijay also, not that Joy Vijay was sent, Joy Vijay actually also felt what is the value of life if we cannot give a fight to the Lord. So, but we cannot have a fight in Vaikuntha, so they agreed to go down. And so they, the whole episode created that how four Kumara came and they cursed them. But that's not the main purpose. Purpose was that Lord wanted to enjoy that fight. So the whole episode took care. And Narayan, of course, in Golok Vrindavan, you don't commit offense in spiritual world. But there can be offense, but you don't suffer for it because Lord himself is the responsible for everything happens because they are all surrendered soul. But in material world, we are responsible for every little things that we do. So with that note, I just want to go that when Lord came as Nishingadev to kill Hiranyakashipu, and after killing Hiranyakashipu, you know that nobody could pacify the Lord. Even Brahmaji could not do it. His prayers Lord heard it, but it did not appeal to peace his heart. And Lakshmi Devi was scared to come nearby because she used to massage the Lord in Vaikuntha. And one day she was laughing within her, and Lord asked, why you laughing? And she said, your lotus feet are so attractive, so soft, so wonderful to touch it. I want to just hold it eternally on my chest. But I heard rumors that you fight with the demons. I don't understand how these lotus feet can actually hurt a hard-hearted demon atheist. It's like a beyond my. So of course, just to please her also, I mean, to all of them, to demigods, to everybody. Of course, ultimately, Prahlad Maharaj. So anyhow, Nishingadev appeared. So Nishingadev appeared, nobody could please give him comfort, solace, until Prahlad Maharaj came in front and Brahmaji, everybody pushed him, please go and pacify Lord. So as Prahlad Maharaj came and finally he was lifted up to sit on the lap and Lord was relishing. In their conversation, Lord revealed that you are not fearless. And Prahlad Maharaj said, why should I be fearless? You are my father. You are my protector. You may have a different form, different outfit. That doesn't mean I should be afraid. You have so much love for and affection and care and protection for you devotees. How can I should be afraid? So Prahlad was fearlessly sitting on the lap. Some paintings I also saw in Google, it's very nice. And Nishingadev instantly fell in love that what an affection he feels, so intimate with me. It's like he feels so secure, so lovable. Can I experience this? So this is the origin of the greed. It's found also in the heart of the Lord. Lord also a supreme person, means he has a personality. He has a relationship. He has a preference. He has an emotion. Just like we do, origin is with the Lord. So Lord decided, I want to experience like Prahlad. I want to have parents. So Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj also mentioned in his lecture, and I was also doing some research, very interesting, that from that incarnation, all the incarnation had a parents. And before Nishingadev, no incarnation had a parents. Matsya, Kurma, you can go on, Varaha, they never had a parents. So from Nishingadev and then after everybody. Why? Because the Lord wants to, it's his desire to experience. That's how the incarnation manifests. The whole episode took place. So I'll jump into that. He wanted to experience. So the next pastime he came as Lord Ram. Lord Ram also developed that greed. Now as a Ram, Lord Ram, he released the Vatsalya Ras from King Dasarath and Mother Kausalya, Sumitra, Koiki. But something was not complete. Like for an example, Lord, while he was reciprocating with Shikharas, with Bibhishan and Sugriv, our Lord Ram's friend. This means there is a Shikharas, friendly affection in the pastimes of Lord Ram. But there are two types of Shikharas, Sambram and Vishramba. And in Nectar of Devotion explained, Sambram means friendship with awe and reverence, and Vishramba means friendship as equals. Without awe and reverence, in Ramlila there is no question of equality. His friends, Sugriv, Bibhishan cannot climb onto his shoulder. I hope you never heard such story. But in Vrindavan, Krishna, yes, they do. Krishna eats with the left hand. Sometimes he eats while walking. And Brahmaji got bewildered. How can he be my father? He's walking. This is not a Vedic, in Vedic culture. Of course, God is above rules and regulations, but still Krishna follows. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is a difference, dynamic pastimes. It bewilders everyone, all the awe and reverence or Aishwarjagata conception get bewildered. When Brahmaji was looking at Krishna, that he's not only walking, he's holding the food on his left hand and he's eating sometime and he's looking for, where are the cows? Where are the cows? What am I going to tell my parents? What's going to happen when we go back, that we lost the cows? And he started worried. And he's walking, eating with the left hand. Brahmaji got bewildered. And then, of course, later on, he got more bewildered when Krishna was sitting right across Madhumangal, and Madhumangal, he's a son of Brahmana, and he having a big buttermilk pot. And Krishna's mother, Jashoda, gave a small cup that day. So Krishna says, I finished my buttermilk. I want some more buttermilk. Madhumangal, share with me. Madhumangal say, you are a Vaishya, I am a Brahmana. We don't share. You know, there is a caste system. Of course, there is no caste system, but this is how the Rasa they play. And Brahmaji is listening this. And Brahmaji is thinking, this is weird. Wow, why they're talking to him if he's a god? Then Krishna, out of fear that Krishna will take the buttermilk, then the Madhumangal took the whole buttermilk in his mouth, and he's a chubby already, and he has a chubby cheek, and now the cheek, he cannot swallow the whole thing, and Krishna pushed the cheek and take the entire buttermilk to his mouth. Brahmaji said, this is impossible. This is not my father, Supreme Lord Narayana. Of course, that was his illusion. He thought he was putting illusion in Krishna and Vrindavan. Then later on, you know the episode, but today we're not discussing that pastime. But just to bring that, Krishna wants to taste that, very intimate and anything, because Krishna subordinated himself from his supremacy. He subordinated himself to the devotee's love for unrestricted and unlimited love. Unrestricted. You cannot say Krishna cannot enjoy like this. Absolutely, you cannot say. There is no such thing. He will enjoy everywhere anybody can imagine. It's all there. This is what Krishna is. So Lord Ram, in Ram Lila, his friends Sugriv and Bibhishan cannot climb onto his shoulder or snatch food from his mouth. You know, when Lord Ram was coming on the way from, I'm just going to jump back and forth, just bear with me. In the airplane, after coronating Bibhishan as the future king, killing the Ravanas, and of course, union with the Sita Devi, and then they are in the Pushpa Viman, the airplane made of flower. And on the way, Mother Sita was so kind, so kind. Lord Ram was giving a sightseeing that after she was kidnapped, what did Ram do? So Ram is showing him, oh, I went to this hill, that mountain, I went to Bharadwaj Muni's place, I went to different mountain, different sages' place. And he was showing from the airplane. That one point he said, oh, this is the place where all the airplane was also filled with the monkeys because they all helped. And Lord Ram revived the dead monkeys to alive. because Ravan's people, they killed also some monkeys, but none of them, they all got alive, and they're all vibrant now, spiritualized with this devotional service to Lord Ram. Then Sita Devi says, oh, this is a beautiful mountain. And he says, yeah, this is Kiskinda. And Sita Devi says, I see a lot of monkeys. I can see from here, from up, that there is still a lot of monkeys. He said, oh, these are the family, children and wives. And Ram was expressing, but these are the real soldiers who helped us. Sita Devi looked at Ram. That's not fair. They sacrificed their husband, sons to help you, and they are going to stay as a monkey in there, not as our associate, and you just pick them because but if they did not support, how they would come and join? You should give your shelter to all the relative and friends of those monkeys. So airplane had to come down to Kiskinda and picked up all these millions of the monkey wives and monkey children. So that was very nice, very kind, Mother Sita Devi. So anyway, back to this story that when Ram landing, and it was beautiful, I'm sure you all heard it. I'm going to just give you some short story just to come up to this point where Ram Avatar is descended from spiritual realm. That Lord Ram noticed that the monkey behavior was little bit can be annoying. So he asked the Hanumanji that have a training, because you are the emblem of Dasharas. You know how to serve and you pleased me always. Can you train all the monkeys? He said, sure. So they had a big warehouse where the training will be done, Prasadam hall and everything. And so Hanumanji would teach them. Like, for an example, funny story, like I give you one, like all the monkeys sat down and they're about to eat the prasadam. So the Hanumanji is showing, okay, you hold the garbanja bean like this. You don't just snatch and eat. No, you have to be civilized, because we are Ram Sena, Ram Duts. So we have to behave like devotees. You all are devotee and you're following me. So you hold the garbanja bean and then you think of Lord Ram. Thank you for giving this mercy. Just like we chant Maha Prasade Govinde Namo Brahmane. So I said, you do like this and you think of Ram. But then what happened? The garbanja bean was squeezed a little hard and the garbanja slips out. I'm sure some of you experienced that. The covering was on Hanumanji's finger, in between finger. And garbanja bean went out. Then Hanumanji told, chanted Ram. He wanted to catch. Anything he does, he always chant Ram. So he catch that Jai Shri Ram, and then he put in mouth. So all the monkeys, they thought that's how you eat garbanja bean. But it was a mistake of Hanumanji. But anyway, that became a kind of a rituals. So all the monkeys are holding and squeezing a little bit the chickpea, garbanja bean coming out between two fingers, and Jai Shri Ram, and eating. All these millions of monkeys are chanting Jai Shri Ram, and it's difficult to stop once this kirtan goes on. So Lord Ram came out and he says, what's going on in the training centers? Everybody is calling me. So Lord Ram came and said, everybody is joyfully honoring prasadam. But one thing they did mistake, they did not respect or offer a special prasad to their guru, Hanumanji. Now Hanumanji is a trainer. What they do is sing Chatur Vidha Sri Bhagavat Prasadam Sadhana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangan Kitaiva Tiptim Bhajata Sadaiva Bande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam. Every day we sing. What does that mean? that Guru, he makes, prepare this food, offer to Krishna, and he served the devotees, and he also honored prasadam together. This is what we sing, and I hope you all see ISKCON Gurus, they do. So Lord Ram felt, well, I need to give him some my association. So he told Hanumanji, come and sit down with me and take prasadam. Oh, Prabhu, please, you honor and I'll take after. He said, no, Hanumanji, I want to see it. You trained very well, all the monkeys, they're honoring prasadam. Now you come and sit with me. I'm going to eat. He said, okay, Prabhu, I'll serve you. He said, no, I want you to sit. So Hanumanji, what can you do? He sat right across. So they brought the plate, a big plate on a big leaf, giant leaf. It's filled with all the prasadam. Now Lord Ram made Hanumanji sit right across. Hanumanji said, my Lord, I cannot eat like this in front of you. I'm a servant. Please consider me, I'm a servant. Hanumanji, I want you to sit down there. I said, okay, my Lord, but now take the prasad from your own plate. My Lord, this is your plate. So Hanumanji, I want you to honor. You follow my instruction. But Hanumanji started crying. Then Lord Ram, with his thumb, he made a little line in the middle. Okay, this side is yours, this side is mine. Now you eat your side. So since that time, the banana leaf, if you look at the banana leaf, there is a middle, there is a line that holding the leaf is actually created by Lord Ram's thumb. So, but still Hanumanji could not. He was like so hesitating, barely he could eat. He's uncomfortable because he cannot imagine to eat on the same plate and same time, even though there is a division now. It was a torture. But Ram felt he could not get the intimate feeling, association with his Sakharas or even with Daisya. Like in Vrindavan, okay, Raktaka Patraka, Prabhupada writes that who carries the letter? What is the letter? Krishna in separation, he says, Ra, he fainted. He didn't even finish the Dha, Radha. That's all the letter is, but all the moods already gone. Who is carrying this? You could, if you look at it, Nectar of Instruction, text 8, you will see Prabhupada put their name, Raktaka Patraka. Patraka means he carries the letter. And on the way, because he's carrying the letter, Ra, it has so much feeling, even the carrier also feel emotion and faint. Finally, it reaches to the other side. Now, that is Daisya. But how can Daisya be? You may say, Priya Normasaka, but Vrindavan, everything is for Radha Krishna's union, Radha Krishna's pleasure. So all the rasas in that sense, even the trees, even the vines, sand, everything. So back to this. So Vishwamitra Shakha is not like this. Vishwamitra Shakha, there is such a love and affection that the friend thinks themselves equal with the Lord. There is no question of awe and reverence. In Krishna Lila, you will find this Vishwamitra Shakha. So that's what Ram was missing. So he had to come as there. So back to this, that in a short, and it continues to conjugal in Krishna Lila. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who actually gives the full description of all the Leelas. So Ram Leela is in the middle of our Gauriya version. Now I'm going to go to the next slide. Let's see where we are. Krishna, back to Z. Is that visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So you know now that Lord appears, this is in Chaitanya Bhagavat explains, that how from Golok Vrindavan, that slowly they come down. Who? The Vasudev. Vasudev, Krishna in Vrindavan is Krishna. The all four quadruple is there. And then in Dwarka, Mathura, then Dwarka, then Ayodhya. So here it says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself explained this. Jai Rupe Pradyumna Aniruddha Sankarsan, Sei Rupe Lakshman Bharat Shatrugna. So these four brothers, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna, is none other than Vasudev, Sankarsan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Okay, this is a famous verse of Lord Ram Katha. Can someone please read this?
Purusa Ramacharitam Sravanar Upadarayan Anar Samsha Parorajan Karma Bandar Vimushate
Karma Bande. Yes.
Karma Bandar Vimushate. Haribo.
Translation.
O King Parithit, anyone who orally receives the narrations concerning the characteristics of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities.
Now, when we think of Ram Lila, we come more close than that. What is that? That we always see through how Mahaprabhu saw Ram Lila. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he predicted as Ram for his Sannyas Lila in Kali Yuga right now. Mahaprabhu predicted this. In his previous incarnation as a Ramchandra, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a whole description that one time he came to Navadvip as a Ram and Sita. Now you all know 14 years they were in the forest, but 14 years was not kidnapped by Ravana, only last year, 1 year. 13 years because, So 13 years, of course, in Vaikuntha, the Lakshmi Devi was expressing also very affectionate to the Lord. And she tried to express, my Lord, can we go somewhere like a private? Like nobody else is there, just between you and me? You can speak to me now, here. He said, no, Prabhu, every time I try to talk, this snake, Shankarshan, is always paying attention. He wants to hear everything. So I don't have really privacy. All the devotees are always around. I really don't. So then Lord agreed. When I come as a Ram, we'll run away from the palace and we'll be in the forest. Just you and me, and we'll be like very private. So for 13 years, generally we don't discuss so much of 13 years. We only talk about last 1 year out of 14. The whole episode took place. Ravana kidnapped, Jata, I mean, one by one, so many pastimes took place. But those 13 years, there was a lot of intimate associate. When in Bharat was canvassing night before, I'm jumping to that just to establish this point. And he was trying to convince everybody because next day will be the court date where Ram will be one side and Bharat and the Ayodhyavasi will be another side and King Janaka is the judge. That time in the canvassing, Bharat came to Mother Sunayana, the mother of Sita Devi, said, Mother Sunayana, you gave your daughter to my brother, Lord Ram, to live in a palace. She was raised by you with all these thousands of maid servants. She never suffered. Now in the forest, she's walking bare feet. You probably getting so much hurt in you, so much pain in your heart. Tomorrow, but tonight, you can talk to your husband. He's the judge. So please tell him to order Ram to go back Ayodhya. Mother Sunayana told Bharat, Come here, Bharat. Do you know us? Do you know my husband, King Janaka? Do you know me? You don't know. I know your brother Shri Ram married our daughter, but you don't know us. We know who Ram and Sita is. They are Lakshmi Narayana. They never suffer. Bharat thought my canvassing is not working. He was trying to get favor. He said, my husband, he knows everything about Lord's pastimes. That's why in Ramayana or anywhere, you will never hear the Sita Devi's parents complaining or depressed or expressing why Sita is suffering, why Sita got kidnapped. They know, they have complete knowledge. It is not a suffering, it is a relishing. But while they are performing this lila, it's also benefiting us. So we have to also raise ourselves. We have to go in a two angle. One side is the Lord, there is no material suffering. There is a separation feeling has to be experienced. That's what he wants. And he got it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expressed this, that to Mother Vishnupriya. One day they went out in Madrum Deep, and he narrated, as a Ram, he came here. And he said to Vishnupriya, you remember, I mentioned to you that in my next incarnation, I'll come in a golden form and you will come, your name will be Vishnupriya and Mother Kaushalya will become Mother Sachimata. And next incarnation, I'll take sannyas. Then Ram said to her, I'll take sannyas because in this incarnation, we will enter both into the forest. We have entered. And when I am Ram, you are Sita, I'll be running after in separation, looking for you. So in the next incarnation, when I come, you will be running after me. You will be crying and crying and crying, and I will have the golden form. Now you have the golden form. I have a Nava Durbadalashem. Lord Ram's color is Nava, means newly grown, Durbadalashem. Durbadalashem is like a one, if you cover a place on the land with some hard covering, and after some time you come back and you see the grass grown there, it's like a little yellow-green. Not green, yellow-green. That is called Nava Durbadalasem. That's the color. So then Lord Chaitanya, Ram expressed this, that I'll be running in separation after your golden form. Where is Sita? Where is Sita? But in next incarnation, I'll get my own back. I'll be in golden form. I'll enter in the forest and you will come running after me crying in separation. Now, question is, what do we learn from this? Madhya Lila 3.2.11, very nice verse. I memorized, try to. Tare pradakshina kari karila gaman ethe acharjar ghare utila krandan. When everything was arranged, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu circumambulated his mother and then started for Jagannath Puri. In this house, Advaita Acharya here arose tumultuous crying. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was crying for Krishna in Santipur, then seeing this, all the atheist impersonalists who did not recognize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they also started crying. It was so contagious. Millions and millions of people purified just by crying for Krishna. But they were crying for Lord Chaitanya because they heard the news from Nityananda Prabhu that Supreme Absolute Truth appeared in their village. But after he took sannyas, he will never come back. They know that place you take sannyas, you never come back. That was horrified. Even the atheists thought, if it was true, the God appeared He was one of us and we never recognized. Now he left. So they regretted. This way Mahaprabhu purified. So on Ram Navami, we should learn how to cry for the Lord. This is important. The next. Okay. Why it goes back? Okay. Ratnakar Das. Very interesting. And you all familiar, I hope so, that compiler of Ramayana is Valmiki. But where he comes from? Very interesting. Very interesting in a sense that Narada Muni is such a great. He turned a biggest ruffian, mafia. I don't know the translation of Dashu. He's not a demon. He used to even kill Brahmanas, but he would not destroy the thread, someone mentioned. But he used to kill anybody who would go by that route if he didn't get everything they had. So he was a well-known Dashu. Dashu means like a ruffian, mafia type of. And Narad Muni, when he was passing by, he was thinking, very interesting. It's relevant to us how pure devotee, even right now in ISKCON society, there's so many pure souls that when they travel amongst us, what they think and how it's actually acting. So Narad Muni was passing by and he thought, I want to see how the holy name actually purify a horrible conditioned soul. So what did he do? Narad Muni, literally, he became a saint. Ratnakar Dasya became a saint, if you think, but if you look at the process that it went, it's such a convincing that yes, there is a hope for all of us. Definitely we all become best lover of Krishna. So what did he do? Very interesting. That Narada planned to benefit this mafia. This is the first point. When Nityananda Prabhu mentioned to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I wonder how you going to deliver this Jagai Madai. What did Mahaprabhu told Nityananda Prabhu? They are already delivered. Nityananda Prabhu said, they just chased us today. Me and Haridas was almost at their hand to be killed. How can you say they already delivered? Mahaprabhu gave a very nice confidential word. He says, they will be delivered because you are thinking to deliver them. When a pure devotee think of delivering a soul, Krishna already delivered that soul. Question is time. Krishna already has the result. The moment Guru think of delivering, Krishna also said, okay, he's delivered, but he has to finish his sadhana. He has to keep on chanting and following this rules regulation. 1 life, 2 life, it depends on each individual, us. So it's very interesting. So Narad Muni thought, I will see. And the holy name also said, yes, he will be delivered because he wanted him to deliver. But of course, it took 60,000 years meditation for Valmiki because he could not even pronounce the name. But also it is the age, 60,000 years in early Treta Sattva Yuga is equal 60 years in Kali Yuga. So don't feel like, oh gosh, I have to do 60,000 years. No. If you just do this life, good sadhana, that's all. It's enough. Prabhupada says in 10,000 years of prachetas are equal to 10,000 years underwater. He said 10 years in ISKCON. It's like, wow, okay, this is how the calculation came. This, the painting, I mean, the picture doesn't look really, he's a monster, but he was a monster in a sense. Narada thought this person is the most notorious, heinous dacoit I have never seen. Narada Muni said like this, I have never seen. Let me experiment with him to see the potency of the holy name. And I shall ask him to chant the holy name of Ram. And he tried. But Valmiki could not pronounce the holy name of Ram. Then Narada told him to chant Mara, Mara, opposite to Ram. Opposite to pure name is offensive name. So we may be thinking like this, but still very interesting point in this here, that Narada told him that don't worry, keep on chanting. Now what made him to become a Mahabhagavat, pure devotee? Even though he was not pronouncing properly, whose name he was pronouncing? It was the potency transmitted from Narada's heart, two potency, Sambit and Ladini. The relationship and feeling and nourishment already transmitted from Narad Muni's heart to Ratnakodashu's heart. When it will manifest, the moment his chanting is purified. But that potency, in 7th chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this in South India, and Prabhupada made a very nice point. So this potency, Katakkan Rahi Prabhu Tare Alingia, Bidai Korila Tare Sakti Sancharila. This knowledge potency and ecstasy potency has to transmit. This is what initiation boils down to. What is initiation? What is Diksha? What do you need Diksha for? Mantra is not alive until initiation take place. The devotee who has that relationship and feeling with that attitude, devotional attitude, that pure devotee who is serving Krishna internally and externally, igniting life in the mantra, then it becomes name. Name is not an alphabet. Name is not a word. Name is a life. God alive in that mantra. It's called name. Holy, holy now. So when Valmiki, Dasu, he got it, it's already that the transmission took place, but he had to purify his access. That access is called consciousness. So this is a shorter way to see how most abominable personality, by the Guru's blessing and the holy name, can transform to a person where before Lord Ram appeared, the entire pastime in the spiritual world that was planned by the Lord revealed in his heart, and he wrote it. And what's the extraordinary potency? That he can transmit to his disciple, Love Kush, the other two disciples, who learned in his ashram to grow up with that. Let's see the next. There's so much information. These are all. But just to give you some idea, just to refresh that how wonderful. Okay, this is a wonderful, just a small lesson to learn. This is Valmiki, Vishwamitra. Now, Vishwamitra, there are a few stories, but I'll just give one pastimes. That when Vishwamitra came, and Vishwamitra asked Dasharath. Of course, there was a welcome. The King Dasharath was the best king. He was very well trained by Guru Vasishtha from early age, how to respect the sadhus. And when Vishwamitra came, Vasishtha introduced, this is Vishwamitra. Whenever sadhu comes, you welcome. First thing, I hope you all know, whenever we see another devotee, it's not like a sadhu is, in other ages, maybe they have a big beard and a dreadlock or whatever, matted hair. But nowadays, sadhus are in a form of Vaishnava tilak and neck beads and chant Hare Krishna. It's very simple. First thing we do, express your happiness seeing the other person. Even if I am going through nightmare, whatever, but express. Welcoming, receiving sadhu has to have a nice training. First thing, you smile. Express that you feel happy to see that devotee. One of the 6 offenses against the devotee is this. There is a 10 offenses of the holy name, but first offense has a 6 offenses. Vaishnavanam na abhinandati. Vaishnavanam na abhinandati means seeing Vaishnava, I'm not happy. No, we should happy. Even if I don't feel, and believe or not, I was faking, I'm still faking probably, but it become normal now. You see a devotee, you smile, you feel like happy. It is a good sign, because that's what he says. Vaishnavanam na abhinandati. When you see a Vaishnava, you don't feel anandi means happiness. You don't feel happy. No, you express, practice it, and it becomes. It is very joyful because you will never commit offense anymore. It's become normal. And the other person also feel happy. So Vishwamitra was very happy seeing it, but he has his mission. Just like we have mission, Prabhupada had a mission. He said he has a mission to fulfill the vision. So King Dasharath loves his children so much, all the 4 boys. But he loves Ram little more than others. That is natural because he's the oldest. Every father can relate to that in Vedic culture. But also, Ram had an extra special quality, attractiveness. His beauty, his dealings, character was super attractive. So King Dasharath was so much in love with all the 4 boys, especially for Ram. So Vishwamitra came, and I tell you the story here, where I got this from. This is Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram. Nityananda Prabhu used to play this Ram Lila. And, Vasudev and Devotee, when Krishna appeared in the jail, same night, Krishna left, and they were deprived for 11.5 years of Vatsulya. Now that 11.5 years was fulfilled as Nityananda Prabhu with Harai Pandit and Mother Padmavati. So that gap was filled up. Now they raised. But then the rest they did not pray. So Nityananda Prabhu left. But before that night, what happened is this same story. That one sannyasi came, and he was very well taken care by Harai Pandit, Nityananda Prabhu's parents. And the Harikatha went so late at night, but everybody was drowned into ecstasy in Krishna Katha. Then at night, the sannyasi said, I'm going to leave early morning tomorrow. He said, okay, but we want to serve you. Please ask for something so we can satisfy you. He said, you really want to please me? He said, yes. I don't have anybody to carry my stuff. when I go alone from holy place to holy place. So give your son. I was like a thunderstruck. But they were thinking about King Dasharath with Vishwamitra. That's where these stories are. So Dasharath, he was so much in love with Ram. So Vishwamitra, he was not buzzing, you know. When he welcomed, Dasharath welcomed him and everything, he said, King Dasharath, I have come for a mission. He said, yes, I'm ready to fulfill. He said, I have so many dangerous in my Jagna pit where I'm doing this Jagna, and it's very deadly. I cannot, even though Prabhupada said Vishwamitra was so powerful that he could actually destroy all those Rakshasa just by saying you all die, because he was so powerful. But he is acting as a Brahmana. He didn't want to act as a Kshatriya. But Dasharath, Ram, they are Kshatriya. Kshatriya's first duty is to protect the Brahmanas. Of course, five entity, but begin with the Brahmana. Brahmana, elderly, Matajis, children, and sick people, animals. This 5 entity has to be always protected by the the Kshatriyas. So anyway, Dasharath says, yes, I'm ready. He said, no, I want your 2 sons, Ram and Lakshman. Dasharath is like, fell like a, shocked, or you can say thunderstruck in his heart. He said, how can I ever separate from Ram? It's not possible. I did not come here to negotiate. I want them now. Okay, I'm coming. So he went there and he was emotional, but finally he gave. When he gave, these 2 boys, Vishwamitra took them and he started walking. As he was coming, there was a road had a split. One takes to his ashram, it takes 3 days to go there. And from this junction, if he takes the other route, which is deadly danger, because it's the residence of all the Rakshasas. They literally eat the mans. They want to eat the sages. I mean, there's so many horrible stories, because all are not powerful like Vishwamitra. So some sages being eaten by the Rakshasas. So then Vishwamitra says, okay, this is a shortcut road. It will take only a few hours, but there is a deadly danger of those Rakshasas. And this is a long road, but it takes 3 days. Which road should we take? And these 2 boys answered, why trouble? We can go, Gurudev, that route. He said, come with me. He came back to the palace. He was furious. Dasharath, you have cheated me. And immediately Guru Vaishishta, he's the family guru, he came. He said, what happened? He tried to cheat me. So immediately Vaishishta went. Dasharath, what did you do? Did you give Ram and Lakshman? He said, no, I could not. I gave Bharat and Shatrugna. No, don't do this. You cannot cheat Vishwamitra. No, you should not cheat any sadhus. Bring Ram and Lakshman. Dasharath started crying. He said, don't worry, I give you promise. Every time you serve a devotee, every time you serve a sadhu, ultimate outcome is very good, beyond your imagination. Serving devotee is always good, but you may not see it immediate. But of course, Dasharath believes that, but difficult to separate. So finally he brings in Ram and Lakshman. And Vishwamitra, don't say anything, thank you or anything. He's very angry because no cheating business. So he comes, goes on that road where the split takes place. As soon as he comes to that place, then he asks these 2 boys again the same question. So now to go to my place, both road will take us, but this is very shortcut. Nobody goes there. because it's the residence of all the Rakshasas. They're man-eater, they literally eat. But this route takes 3 days. Which route should we take? That time the Ram, now what happened? The 4 boys, they all look same, beautiful, attractive. That's why it was confusing. Ram says, Gurudev, whatever you want, I'm ready to carry on the duty. Well, then I'll teach you a mantra that by reciting the mantra, you can kill those Rakshasas and then we can go to. Yes, Gurudev. Then Vishwamitra smiled. He said, this is Ram. That's how he talks. That's how Kshatriya leaders are supposed to talk, to protect, not like escaping from fight, which Bharat and Shatrughan, they're also good fighter, but it was not. So key point is that we have to be very careful ourselves, not to make a story or, I could not, I'm sorry. No excuse. Just do it. Even at the difficult. Okay, with that story, and you know this, the whole episode took place of Ram breaking the Haradhanu and married to Sita. But okay, maybe I'll tell a little story about this. It's very interesting because all these slides has a wonderful story. Mother Radha, do we have some time? I already went over. Just yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So here it's interesting that when Mother Sunayana, the mother of Sita Devi, was generally in the assembly of Kshatriya, unless the very powerful Matajis, Kshatriya mother or queen or princess, they talk boldly. Otherwise, generally, the women don't talk in the big assembly of Kshatriyas. Now, on that wedding, you know that previously, if I can go back, no, sorry. Okay, I missed this slide. Mother Sunayana, the mother of Sita Devi, she came out. She said, generally in Vedic culture, you don't criticize your husband, especially in the Kshatriya race. She said, it is shameful that you all are here, 10,000 Surya Vangsha dynasty, Sun dynasty, powerful Kshatriyas, but none of you are powerful to lift this Haradhanu. My husband, he put such a high bar that no Sun dynasty descendant can cross. I love this boy. I heard about just now about King Dasharatha's son. He's also just arrived, but he's a little young, very attractive boy. I wish. But all big warrior failed. What he can do, he's just a young boy. Of course, Lakshman could not take it. He said, oh mother, please do not insult the Surya Vangsha, the Sun dynasty descendant. We are extremely powerful. My brother is the origin of all power. And he gave a beautiful speech, even though they're just a young, handsome, very attractive boy. He's not like a big macho muscle or anything, but just a very attractive, handsome. He said, what to talk about, brother? Even I can break this bow like anything, millions of bow. Why only this bow? So then everybody started talking, wait, what is this young boy talking like this? Who is this? Then of course, rumors spread, oh, he's a Dashara, Maharaj Dasharath's son, these two boys. They are traveling with Vishwamitra. He's training them, showing them the outskirt. So then Vishwamitra looked at Ram, and Ram did not say anything. Vishwamitra smiled. Of course, night before, this is the night before, the evening before, Vishwamitra came and stayed in that guest house. It was the first time that Ram broke his chastity. First time he broke his chastity. In a sense, that early morning, they generally, did I make this slide? That they generally massage their guru, put him sleep. Yeah, actually, many slides back, if you go back, that's how they used to serve. They massage Gurudev's feet to Vishwamitra, both Ram and Lakshman. And then when Guru goes to sleep, they would go to sleep. And they have to wake up before Guru wakes up. So because they are like disciples, so they're very loyal and they're very good. There's so many beautiful pastimes. But one pastime I'll say, just on that day, that the day will be coronation. So that day, Guru said, Ram, go outside, find some flower. So they are staying in Janak Maharaj's garden, has a guest house, and it's a beautiful garden. So Ram went to pluck some flower, and Sita Devi also, Janaki Devi also used to pluck flower for her puja. That day she's very exciting. She told all her friends, I'm going to pluck some best flower today because it's my day, the pinnacle, of the bride's ultimate imagination of getting married to a most handsome, most attractive person. And today is the day. She said, I want to worship my Ishtadev first, so I'm going to pluck flower. Happened to be same garden. And Lord Ram never looked at any Matajis ever. He looked at their feet, young girls, and of course the mother, he touches the feet like this. Here they always perfect etiquette. But that day while he was plucking flower, he looked at straight like this. There's another girl, little far. And they looked at each other. And Sita also got stuck. Who is this handsome boy? And it took almost like some time. Then when Vishwamitra told Lakshman, where are the flowers? Lakshman said, brother. And he realized that, of course, Lakshman didn't see it, but then Ram realized, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm looking at the girl and she's so attractive, and Ram felt a little uncomfortable. But still, he restrained. So then that morning, of course, in this beautiful sabha, where the groom will be tested, that Ram got the blessing from Vishwamitra, and as you know, he pulled the string. And then, of course, Parashuram appeared. So I'll just jump to that when Parashuram appeared, everybody was frightened. Now all these 10,000 warriors, they're Surjavamsa. They are out of fear, like stepping back from their sitting. They were all watching. Who is going to win this most attractive girl, Princess Sita? But they were so frightened when Parashuram appeared because they know his power, how 21 times brutally destroyed illegal practitioner of Kshatriya Dharma. He did not kill a good Kshatriya, he killed all the bad Kshatriya because the world was facing like this. Because this is like an abuse. You're holding a position, you're acting in a wrong way. So he had to do it. But when he appeared, everybody got frightened and everybody left. Even Ravana was trying to find out who does this. Because one time Radha Govinda Maharaj mentioned that even Ravana, night before, he came and he wanted to see that what is that test? If it is given by Shiva, how can it be unconquerable so much? I can try. But when it came to try, and he could not lift up, but his finger got stuck. And this 10,000, all the Sun dynasty, they are who are imagining next day, tomorrow will be the day. Maybe I'll win. Everybody is thinking out of all 10,000, everybody is thinking I'll be the winner or something. When they saw that Ravana finger got stuck, they had to like lift up little bit of this Haradhanu. So you can imagine how heavy it is for Ravana to get the finger out and he flee away. He did not want to be there, visible, because it was like a biggest shame. So then was interesting how Lakshmana came forward and he said, why you are bragging about who broke this bow? When I was a little boy, my brother, he can break as many millions bow. What's the big deal about breaking one bow? And Parashuram looking at this young boy, how dare he talks to me? Does he know who I am? So then Parashuram asked King Janaka, Janakraj, tell me right now who did it. If you don't tell me, I'll destroy your kingdom. So King Janaka is so scared, and he's also still have a doubt of Ram's capability, divinity. So he was like doubting what will happen if I tell him the name. He'll probably destroy these two boys. Now my wife will be, my princess will be widow for the rest. So his brain is going like this, and Mother Sunayana like about to tell, but she was like resisting, everybody else keeping her. But Lakshman burst out. He says, do not show your power in front of my brother. He is the embodiment of all power. Parashuram is thinking, who is talking to? I am the incarnation of Vishnu. Of course, Yogamaya is playing this art. This is Yogamaya's wonderful. So then finally, after bragging a lot, then just to show this, he said, it is not a big deal. My brother broke it. We broke this kind of bows thousands of times in our childhood. Then Parashuram also noticed there is a Vishwamitra is their guru. So he understood something must be mysterious that I'm not aware. So then he pulled out his Vaishnava Dhanu, which is more powerful than Haradhanu, Shiva's Dhanu. So then he said, let me see. You pull the string of this bow. Ram pulled the string, just like this little boy does. Ram did it. Parashuram was shocked. It is impossible, except Narayan can do. Nobody else can do. So he understood, this is my Lord, origin. Because Parashuram is not a Vishnu Tattva, he is a Shaktavesh avatar. I hope you all know that. So then means he was empowered, Bhagavat Shakti, to destroy the uncivilized Kshatriyas. So then Ram says, okay, I pull the string, but now I have to release it. In order to release, there is two things. Either you lose your power or this world will be destroyed. Which one you prefer? So then Ram said, that time Parashuram said, my Lord, you have appeared to perform this lila. Destroying this world will hamper you, disrupt your lila. So please don't destroy. Let me lose my power. So from that day, Parashuram's power was withdrawn. And he is still in South India. Mahaprabhu met him as a Brahmana, and he has a wife also, Brahmani. And they disguise, they are there. So then Parashuram, full dandavat to Ram. In front of all these 10,000 that seeing it, everybody was shocked. Wait. Parashuram is the warrior, the fighter. He is bowing down to this young boy. Who is this young boy? This is what started in the head of all those Kshatriyas. And they started, that means he's more powerful than Parashuram. Who is this Ram? So it's very nice. Parashuram established Ram's power. There's so many stories of all this. Was interesting. When Lord Ram, after everything is over, how he came, maybe, actually there's many pastimes. I'm just thinking like how to escape. Let me see. Okay. I'm just going to go to the last part probably. Because of the time. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go just. Okay. Sorry, because of the time, I'm going to just speed up. These are all itself is a lot of lesson to be learned. Killing Bali, giving Hanuman the ring, and uniting. This is Hanuman crossing the ocean. Lakshman. Here is Hanuman finds Sita Devi in the Osaka forest. And the ocean god, Samudra Dev, gives. And the bridge is built. The battle begins. Garuda saves Ram and Lakshman from the snake weapons. Kumbhakarna. And the final battle where Ram finishes. Of course, there's a nice lesson to learn, Vibhishan. If we have time, we can talk that because it's very relevant to our life. Even recently, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur made a very nice point on that also. And Mother Sita Devi was tested many times. That's also another. Few questions also I made, but I'll go to Kakbushundi. Okay, I'll go to here because of the time. Okay. So I would, oh, sorry. Can someone read this one, please? So I would like everybody, prepare yourself. Really, I'm serious. Prepare yourself to surrender to Supreme Lord Sri Ram and Krishna, even for one moment, even for a second. It has an unlimited benefit. So please, somebody, this is Lord Ram promised. Can someone read this? And then I'm going to explain just a few minutes.
Sakred eva papannoyas tavasmi puja yachate abhayam sarvada tasmi dadami etudjatam mama.
Very good.
It is
Translation.
my vow, it is my vow that if only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for fearlessness, I shall immediately award fearlessness to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on.
Very nice. So you all know Vibhishan. This is something very relevant. Ramanujacharya spoke. Most of our Acharya spoke. Even Prabhupada spoke in Madhya Lila chapter 9, 199. You can read later. So I'm going to give a little synopsis of this. This is such a relevant to our life. Vibhishan's story will teach us Our real challenge is to bring changes from within. By changing our externals, Prabhus and mothers, our internal is not going to change. You all know, I'm just repeating what I heard from you all. By wearing dhoti or sari or kurta, our desires are not going to change. I hope you all agree. By wearing a Vaishnava tilaka, our desires are not going to change. Yes, the external appearance of a devotee is an important aspect of bhakti, but it does have some effect on our consciousness. But it is not the all in all of being a devotee. The real challenge is to bring changes from within. Donning the dress of a devotee externally is difficult, but not that difficult. The real difficulty is in donning the attire of a devotee internally. Why? You may think, because who we are is not a product of our external, but our internals. This is what Prabhupada spoke in one lecture. So my understanding is God does not see our external. He is more interested in our internals. The world may be impressed with the external. If I have an iron shirt, I don't know if anybody ever experienced that. It's all good. There's nothing wrong. You know, devotee say, wow, you look very sharp. Yeah, it's good. Good impression. But God is impressed. Krishna is impressed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is impressed. Lord Ram is impressed only by the internal. A devotee is not a person of form, but a person of substance. Our internal change, not by changing our externals, but by working on changing our internal. So with that note, I'm going to ask everybody to raise hand. First, we're going to read the translation. First, raise hand, even for a one moment. Please, please, I beg you. Just do it for your own sake. Raise your hand wherever you are, lying down or standing or sitting. However you are is not important. It is important that you raise your hand and for a one moment say, my Lord, I really want to surrender to you right now. I'm completely giving you. So please, somebody read it, and then we're going to do it. Can someone read it nicely, please?
Krishna Tomara Hanaya Vibole Ekabara Maya Ganga Hete Krishna Tarika Ripara. Translation: one is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya, who feels seriously and sincerely says, my dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So I'm begging all of you, please listen to this, what I understood from. This is so important. This is Mahaprabhu spoke. Mothers and Prabhus, what is the value of prolonged life which is wasted, inexperienced by the years in these worlds? This is what we read in Bhagavatam, in Bhakti Japa Sangha group. Prabhupada said, if you remember, better one moment of full consciousness, one moment, because that will enable each of us to search after our ultimate interest. Even one moment of surrender has a permanent result. I boldly say it to myself and to all of you. That is the power of devotional service. That's why in Ramayana, that verse is there, given there before. It's also in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this verse Mahaprabhu gave. That from this day, my Lord, I am yours. Krishna will release each of us from the clutches of material energy and accept each of us as his intimate devotee. That feeling, even if for a moment, if we can do right now, that nobody else, nothing else, I just want to give my life to Krishna, will make a permanent imprint on our consciousness. So even if the next moment is forgetfulness of Krishna, even if it goes on and just forgets, even say somebody fell down from today Bhakti Japasanga, they surrendered for a moment and they fell down. But please listen, this is a Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's own opinion. He said, at some point, Krishna will not let that soul go. He will make a plan to bring that soul back. And that soul, even for a moment, he said, I am your, my Lord, from today on. Krishna will make an arrangement. And that soul will remember the sweet taste of that one moment surrender. It is actually very sweet taste. It is the most wonderful position to be in as a surrender soul. There is no safer position in entire creation. So please raise your hand and just chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Everybody, please. I hope everybody is hearing. Everybody, please raise your hand and chant loudly with this mantra. Just say loudly. Krishna tumar hai jyoti bale ek baar maya bandha hai Krishna tare kar. My Lord, from today I am yours. Please say it loudly. My Lord, from today I am yours. Please accept me as your servant of the servant.
As a servant.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama.
Hare Hare.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Now, if you say, how do I hold on to that mood? 4 things you can do, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said, and I'll end my class with this. 4 things you can do to hold that conception, hold that state of surrender. This is come from Patrabali, that he gave a lecture which is written in a book format called Patrabali. He said, if you do 4 things, then you can hold that surrender position. First thing he says, akinchanatam. Akinchanatam means, my Lord, I possess nothing of my own. You send your own intimate associate as my guru. I'm just following his order as best as possible. And I thank you. This is first. Second, ananda gatitvam. Ananda gatitvam means, my Lord, I possess nothing on my own. I have no other destination. You have sent your intimate friend as my guru to take me back. I'm ready to go back. I have no other desire. Whatever guru wants me to do, I will. Third, he says, Saktitvam. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur explains, Krishna has a omnipotency. He will allow you to have that access of omnipotency when you desire strongly that I will love Krishna and Krishna's people at every moment. Then omnipotency will start entering in you. to redirect your consciousness towards him. And the final, last one is saralata. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koriya Oikya Arna Koriya Mone Asha. Your will, Guru's will is my will, nothing else. My Lord, do not check my background because I have a horrible monster, demoniac nature, non-devotional quality. But you will deliver me because of simplicity, and I'll hold on to that simplicity, Saralata. So, Akinchanattam, Anannagatittam, Shaktittam, Saralata. These four things will keep you, stay, surrender, and go back home. Go back home means wherever the service, devotional service is there. Okay, I'll end here. Thank you for paying your wonderful attention. And I hope some of you can give me some reflection, what you're going to take away from today's discussion. I'm sorry I was rushing and could not figure it out, everything to say.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful glorification of Lord Ramchandra. And thank you for sharing so many stories and pastimes. I like one point, Prabhuji. Rama follows his guru's directions without escaping. Likewise, we are also should follow our guru directions if any difficulty also comes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Without delay, I would like to ask devotees if anybody have any questions or realization, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. First of all, thank you so much. It was so wonderful to hear you on this auspicious day. A lot of new insights I got to hear about Sri Ramachandra's pastime. So I'm really grateful to you for giving us all those insights. The last one thing you spoke about, the four things that one need to keep in mind to hold the mood of surrender. I'm afraid I didn't get the third one. I'll repeat the first, second, and the fourth. The third one, I would appreciate if you could help me understand better, please. The first one you spoke about akinchanatvam. The second one, ananya gatitvam. Fourth one, saralatvam. Can you please repeat the third one and explain, please? Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Shakti, the potency, Shaktitam. Shakti, here it says, Sarva Shaktiman, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, that Krishna is always endowed with inconceivable potency. When we choose to love him, that inconceivable potency will ignite our heart to actually serve him with that love.
Thank you so much, but I still didn't get to understand or rather related to the mood of surrender. I'm really sorry. I was not able to understand and relate.
Okay. In order to surrender, when you say surrender, surrender is not a something physical so much. I mean, physically we do things, but surrender more of a state of consciousness where we hold on to these four aspects according to Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. That to say from today I am your, but how do we act? After a few moments, maybe it's like, well, I said I am your, but actually I am for myself too. I need to eat, I need to do this, I need to do this. So with these four points, you're going to start connecting with each point, that how you're going to connect. Actually, this is all part of the surrender. Okay. So say you say, I'm not feeling well. Then you're going to say, I'm not feeling well. Who is I am feeling, not feeling well? Is that the body is not feeling well, or the subtle mind is not feeling well, or the soul? Well, soul is always well in the service.
Yes.
The physical may be challenging, maybe mind may be challenging. Then you will be like literally on your own directing the consciousness. How you will get empowered? From Achinta Shakti. Achinta Shakti will enter in you, will say, yes, I can do it. I can do it. Before I could not do it, today I'm going to do it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And
so
you will be
much.
surprised. And once you get the taste of it, you don't want to come out of it.
Right.
Thank you, Mother.
Got it, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Any other?
If there are no more questions, we can close, Mataji. It's 8:04.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. If nobody have questions, we can end the call here, Prabhuji, with your permission.
Yes, Mother.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Nanto Gori Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhakti Japa Sangha Group ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you for
Hare
joining today's
Krishna.
class.
Much.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.